for 2 days, 6 hours, 30 minutes, 19 seconds, 18 seconds away from kickoff of the big game. Big shout out to Pete's Coffee, who's serving us the coffee and sending us to Las Vegas. We can't wait to get out there. We fly out Saturday night. Saturday, we'll get down there to Las Vegas for the big game. But let's go down to Vegas. I believe he's in Vegas. He's got those nice couch cushions. Maybe he's in a big penthouse, big suite here, man. He is Eric Crocker. It's Croc time here on the Morning Roast. Joining us on the Boxer and Guernsey guest line, Lockdown 49ers podcast. I love this podcast. Eric Crocker breaks it down with the best of them, man. Crocky, what's going on, baby?
What's up, man? I'm not in the penthouse. Well, I guess you can call this a penthouse. The penthouse of my living room. That's where I'm at right now.
Are you heading out to Vegas, or where are you going to watch the game at?
Okay, listen, I got screwed. Y'all know I coach 7-on-7. You know, we do a lot of traveling. We were in Vegas last week. Somebody, I don't know which idiot did this, but they scheduled a tournament for us Saturday, the day before Super Bowl. So it kind of got me locked down. I can't leave. I've been trying to figure out a way around it. Maybe I just play hooky, act like I'm sick, and then just drive to Vegas or catch a late flight to Vegas. But I would much rather be there with you guys. Make sure you guys save a little space for me to sleep on the couch or something.
Yeah, no doubt.
Eric, this is my biggest problem. I told CYO like years ago, how are you scheduling games on AFC, NFC Championship Sunday and on Super Bowl Sunday? It is the dumbest. Who is coordinating these leagues and not understanding that if your child is participating, you're probably a sports fan, right? It drives me nuts.
Clearly, people that don't watch NFL. Because even if the 49ers weren't playing, like, I'm locked in. I want to watch some good football. So, I don't know what's up with that.
And I think we'll watch some good football on Sunday. We got to go through Mahomes again, man. It's not going to be easy, but it feels like the Niners, they got, going through those 2 games at Levi Stadium, surviving and advancing, not playing their best football. And the fact that they acknowledge that, saying, look, man, we got to have better effort defensively. We got to be cleaner offensively. Shanahan's got to call better plays. It feels like they just getting here was a big relief for this football team. You can see it on their expressions. You can see how loose they are this week, Crocker. What have you seen from the Niners this week in Las Vegas, just through the social media prism, the interviews, some of the clips you've seen coming out of Las Vegas?
It looks like they're locked in and ready to go. Kyle Shanahan and those guys, they've been here now. This is their second time going, and I listened to a little bit of tidbits on the way the Chiefs went about things. They did all of their work in Kansas City and then came out maybe a little bit more relaxed throughout this week in Vegas where there might be distractions. 49ers kind of did the opposite way where they had some days off last week and then did more of their work out there this week. But if Kyle Shanahan feels like that's what's best for his team to be really locked in, ready to go, man, I'm all for it. So more times than not, this team has been prepared to take on whatever is upcoming. So I'd assume that they continue that and really be ready to go against Kansas City Chiefs.
Eric, we've been kind of peeling it back all morning about just like what the team means to us, to the region, to my family, and how did you become a Niner fan? Because you obviously played in the league and you have no qualms by saying like I'm a diehard Niner fan. And so how did you become a Niner fan?
All right, so I get this question a lot, not even just with the Niners, but I'm also a Los Angeles Laker fan, as some of y'all know. And I became a Laker fan because I asked my uncle, like, Uncle Tracy, who's your favorite team? And he said Los Angeles Lakers. I said, okay, I'm a Laker fan. I asked my mom, who's your favorite football team? She said 49ers. I said, all right, I'm a 49er fan. So that was how that came about. I think I took that obsession to like a different level.
Right.
My mom, but I think she's excited. She called me after the 49ers won the NFC Championship, and she was screaming and yelling with my stepfather. So I think we're all excited, everybody that's 49er fans right now.
All right, the secondary here. You're a secondary guy. That's a great story there. We all have our different stories. Some of us are just born into it. Some of them, people from all over the place. It's like, hey, I picked them on a parlay. This lady, Rhea Lancaster, calls us all the time, Crocky, and was like, I had a parlay. The Niners were the only team to win in that parlay. So that was my team for the rest of my life. It's kind of insane, right? The secondary, Diablo Lenore, Tarvarius Ward. Obviously, every time is going to get picked on this football game. You got Tick Brown and Gibson in the secondary. How do they match up with the skill set, the skill positions of the Kansas City Chiefs? Nobody's really talking about that this week.
I think that this is the best the 49ers have matched up against a Kansas City Chiefs offense. All right, now, look at the running game. And I really like what they have in the backfield with Pacheco. He runs hard. I don't think he's like super dynamic in the sense of like his elusiveness, like you saw last week with Gibbs in Detroit, Gibbs in Detroit last week. Like he was tough. Like he's tough in the open field. He's so elusive. Man, he put a lot of pressure on the guys on the back end, especially the defensive back and second-level guys to tackle. But you look at these receivers, and even Rashee Rice, I think Rashee Rice has come along very well. He's a rookie. You could tell throughout this year with Patrick Mahomes trying to figure out how to get on the same page with the others. The others are anybody that's not named Travis Kelce. And throughout this year, Rashee Rice has kept getting better and better. But even when I watch Rashee Rice, as solid as he is, I don't think he's this guy that is a tough matchup for corners, whether it's Ambry Thomas, whether it's Diamondo Lenoir or Travarius Ward. So I'm curious to see, especially at the cornerback position, how do they match up against these guys? Do the 49ers just say, all right, we don't think these guys are as dynamic as what we're used to seeing from Kansas City, so we're just going to go out there, we're going to play our quarters, we're just going to do it that way? Or are they going to say, you know what, I really like how we man up against these guys? So what Eric Crocker would do, which probably not what the 49ers would do, I would say Travarius Ward, I want you to guard their second-best pass catcher, which is Rashee Rice, right? So you go and you just lock him up, you take him out the game. And then now, for Travis Kelce, because that's the other big threat, let's bracket him. All right, let's keep multiple eyes on him, whether it's Ambry Thomas, Logan Ryan, some kind of, bracket with the safeties. So now we got 4 eyeballs on him at all times wherever he goes. And we know that's Patrick Mahomes' outlet. Whenever Mahomes, if you look at a lot of times when he really gets these big plays from Travis Kelce, a lot of times it's on the move, late in the down. Then he finds Travis Kelce. Well, let's have 2 guys that are dedicated to him, plaster him, and then from there it makes it a little more difficult. He's going to be a Hall of Fame tight end, so he's going to get his. But make it as difficult as possible. That's the way I would go about it.
What do you think on the other side when you're looking at Debo, Ayuk, Jennings, Kittle going up against this secondary? This secondary is really good. Snead and McDuffie and obviously Reed, and et cetera. So what can the Niners do against them? Because it does feel like this is one of the better secondaries they faced since Cleveland earlier this year.
Well, I think if I'm Kansas City, this is a tough matchup. I think they have really good guys on the back end. Matter of fact, I talked about how the 49ers match up with this Kansas City Chiefs team better than any other team I've seen in the past. Well, when you look at Kansas City, their defense, this is the best defense they've had. So they probably look at it like, all right, we match up very well against this 49ers team. The issue with the 49ers is it's so difficult to key in on one guy, right? Like, we can focus on Travis Kelce when the 49ers are on defense. But with the Niners, their whole game plan isn't predicated on one guy. So you can have Brandon Ayuk, who's an all-pro receiver, have 3 targets and you still beat a team by 40 points. Yeah. Or he can have 12 targets and ball out, and you don't know how they're going to come. So, I mean, any guy on the 49ers offense can be that guy. It can be Debo. It could be Kittle. It could be Ayuk. It could be Juwan Jennings making really key plays. And I haven't even mentioned Christian McCaffrey, who had 12 targets in the Green Bay Packer game. So when you look at how the 49ers offense is structured, I don't know how you really key on one or 2 guys and try to take things away. I think for opposing teams, it's hoping that the 49ers just miss certain things. Can we confuse Brock Purdy early in downs? Can we line up and move things around? One thing I've noticed with teams and kind of what they're doing right now is they're kind of playing their safeties a little shallow. And it's almost like they're daring the 49ers to throw it down the field. So I'm curious to see if the 49ers come out and take more shots. They did that against Detroit. If you remember on the first drive or second drive, they threw a goal ball down the left sideline to Brandon Ayuk. Yep. I think that was the show like, hey, we will throw it. Right now, you want to convert on those. But if you look at how these safeties have been playing, it's almost borderline disrespectful. And I think when some people look at these numbers and you look at air yards or yards per attempt and you look at Mahomes, his are down, well, safeties are deep against Mahomes. So they're kind of forcing him to take the underneath stuff. 49ers, it's like teams are almost daring them to throw down the field. So I think 49ers come out and you got to let it rip. Let it rip downfield. Start to back up those safeties, and that should open up things over the middle.
I'm glad you said that. Eric Crocker here on the Morning Roast, courtesy of the Boxer and Gerson guest line, Locked On 49ers podcast. You brought up Christian McCaffrey. To me, that is the difference in this football game, and that's been the difference in this offense. It always felt like, Croc, when they signed Jerick McKinnon, I saw the vision with Kyle Shanahan. Okay, cool, you got a back. You can dump it off, too. He's your safety valve. He sets up your 2nd and 3s, your 3rd and 4s. You stay on schedule with the sticks. Then you make the trade for Christian McCaffrey, and it's like, oh, wow. Look how much it's opened up for George Kittle and Debo and Brandon Ayuk. Christian McCaffrey is the ultimate X factor to me in this football game. He's got to see 25 to 30 touches, bare minimum, and I think he will have a monster game against his Chiefs defense, Crocky.
Oh, man, I love that you said 25 to 30 carries or touches because I'm right there with you. I think for most of this year, you're thinking of different ways to kind of preserve Christian McCaffrey. Save him from himself. He doesn't want to come out the game, right? But you don't want him to get hurt. You don't want him to get banged up. And we've seen, it almost seems like every week you look on the sideline, they show a visual of him kind of somebody rubbing on his leg or trying to massage out a certain area of his body so that he can get right back in there and be the same Christian McCaffrey we expect him to be. But forget all that preserving them now. Like, it's win or go home. It's take everything. It's quest for 6. So now, if you got to get your best player on your offense the ball 30 times, this is the game 100% to do that.
All right, what's going to happen? Like what are you predicting?
All right, I said all that good stuff about the 49ers. I'm not going to lie. I am terrified of Patrick Mahomes. I feel like Mahomes does whatever he has to do to win, whether it's still for 180 yards or if it's still for 400 yards. So I think somebody that has that ability to flip that switch whenever he wants, that's dangerous. I do, however, think that the 49ers are a better team. I really like Brock Purdy as long as he can start fast, right? Don't have that slow start that we've seen the last couple of weeks. I think the 49ers are good. So I like the 49ers in this game. I don't think the Mahomes team has the power to come from behind like we've seen in the past. I got the 49ers winning 27-21.
I love that. And we'll be celebrating. I know you're coming out to the parade, right? You got to come to this parade if that's the case. The people need to see Eric Crocker.
Oh, 100%. I'm probably going to have to, supposed to be picking up my daughter from school. Forget her. She can stay at school a little bit longer. I will be at the parade no matter what.
Crocker, you always been good to us here on the Morning Roast. Our roasters love you. We love your insight, your analysis, man. It's always spot on. And by the way, Shasky gave me credit because we always bring this up.
Oh, yeah.
We always bring this up. When Steve Wilkes is saying, you know what, I'm still learning the scheme. You're the first one I heard in all of America. All of America. I know Seth Wickersham wrote that article at ESPN. You were the first one. You may have been before the Cleveland game and the Sun. I forget what it was. But you said, you know what? Kyle Shanahan is a real defensive coordinator. That has not been lost on us. That has not been lost.
Did you see that article?
You read that article, right?
No, I didn't even see that.
It was on
Sam Wickersham.
Yeah, Seth Wickersham, ESPN, wrote a deep dive on Kyle Shanahan. He was talking. Go ahead, Shaz. He was talking about
basically he said he addresses the team and breaks down all of the plays that they're going to run on Friday for the offense. Well, it's so good the last couple years he's done it for the defense on Saturday, and he is in the room breaking down what they're going to do, not the defensive coordinator. So you were right; he was the architect of the defense the entire time.
Hey, man, a broke clock is right twice a day.
Stop it. Give yourself some more credit. No, because then Wilkes later on said, I'm still learning the scheme. And every week we're like, well, Crocker says Shanahan's a real defense coordinator, so it's not all Steve Wilkes. Stop blaming him. Blame Shanny for the why. Now, he blames Shanny for getting clipped on the edges and losing containment. Chase Young's got to play better. Play lower, please. For the love of God, just play low. Keep your pat level low, dude. Anyway, Eric Crocker, enjoy the Super Bowl, man. I know you'll enjoy it.
Go
we'll see you
Niners.
at the parade. Go Niners, man.
All right, man. Y'all have a good one.
Anytime. Eric Crocker, man. He's good to us. He's good on the 49ers podcast, man. Locked On 49ers podcast. Our good boy Brian Peacock, man, does a hell of a job. He knows the game inside and out.